So, here's the real tea. Rachel Zegler, yeah, that Rachel who used to run Hollywood like her personal playground, just turned the whole game upside down. Just a couple of weeks ago, folks were out for blood, accusing her of wrecking rehearsals and supposedly ruining the West End revival of Evita. She was getting slammed online with labels like diva, walking disaster, and PR nightmare. It got so messy, the producers even hit her with a lawsuit for breach of contract, claiming she trashed the entire production. But guess what? Rachel ain't playing victim. She's clapping back hard, and her response might just blow this whole show off the stage. Her legal team in London just dropped a countersuit that's straight fire. Rachel's claiming this whole thing was a setup from day one, a full-on takedown plot by the Evita crew. She says it wasn't just a little drama. She's talking psychological warfare. According to the filing, they iced her out of creative meetings, embarrassed her in front of the whole cast, and even leaked private notes to make her look mentally unstable. And those viral clips and shady backstage whispers? Rachel says they were planted, part of a sneaky plan to trash her name and push her out without catching heat. But hold up, it gets even messier. She's now saying that while she was still showing up to work, they were already rehearsing her replacement behind her back. Can you believe that? This drama's got more twists than a soap opera. Think about it for a second. You're cast as the lead in a major revival, showing up to work every day and behind your back? They're already grooming your replacement. That's not just dirty, that's full-blown betrayal. And while all this was going down, the public was being spoon-fed a twisted version of the story for weeks. The narrative was clear. Rachel got cocky, started wildin' out, and wrecked the entire production. Case closed, right? The leaked notes painted her as difficult, arrogant, and hard to work with. Then boom, a video of her snapping during rehearsals hits the internet, and suddenly everyone's saying, "See? Told you she was a problem." But now, Rachel's legal team is flipping the script like a plot twist in a thriller. They're claiming those so-called leaks weren't accidents. They were traps. The creative team allegedly pushed her to the edge on purpose, waited until she cracked, filmed the meltdown, and sent it straight to the media. This ain't just drama. This is reputational assassination. And here's the wildest part. This isn't some wild rumor floating on Reddit. This is all laid out in a legit legal filing. Public, official, straight from the courtroom. Rachel isn't just defending herself, she's going in for justice. Her countersuit is coming for the producers hard, accusing them of breaking their own confidentiality rules. The same rules they used to justify attacking her. She's demanding damages for emotional distress, being humiliated in front of the world, and being shut out of a process she was hired to lead. And online, people are doing a double take. This twist is hitting hard. Now people are starting to pause, rewind those leaked rehearsal clips, and ask, hold up, why were these even being recorded in the first place? Fans who were dragging Rachel just 2 weeks ago are suddenly like, wait, what if she really was being set up from day one? The whole vibe is shifting, fast. But how did it get to this point? How does someone go from being the bright face of Disney's next big blockbuster to fighting tooth and nail just to protect her career in court? It didn't start in that courtroom. Nah, this mess started way back with her casting in Evita. Rachel was brought in as the face of a bold new West End revival. Raw, no CGI magic, no Disney polish. Just her, a mic, and one of the toughest legacy roles out there. A role that's already swallowed up more than a few careers. But from the minute she walked into rehearsals, Rachel felt the weird energy. Something was off, and it wasn't just nerves. And the deeper you dig, the nastier it looks. The red flags weren't loud at first. Rachel says it began with small stuff, getting left off email chains, being the last to get updated scripts, and getting called out in front of everyone like she was some rookie. At first, she thought, all right, maybe it's just normal backstage drama. But then it got worse. Way worse. She claimed she'd show up for blocking sessions, only to find out the schedule had already changed. And nobody told her. Meanwhile, other cast members, even folks with tiny parts, were kept fully in the loop. And then there was that one day. She says she waited alone for over an hour in an empty rehearsal room. Not a single soul showed up. Like, seriously? And guess what she was told after waiting alone like that? The entire scene had been rescheduled without her. That's not just a scheduling slip. That's personal. Rachel's lawyers are calling it exactly what it looks like: intentional isolation. A slow, calculated game to mess with her head and break her down emotionally. And it worked. After weeks of feeling iced out, nitpicked, and shut out of her own role, Rachel started to crack, not because she was some drama queen, but because she was being worn down on purpose. At least, that's what her countersuit is laying out, piece by piece. Then came the moment everything blew up. One closed-door rehearsal turned into a breaking point. Multiple people say Rachel snapped, threw a prop, shouted at the director, and stormed off stage. Boom. Instant chaos. Here's the thing, though. Rehearsals like that? They're never supposed to be filmed, but somehow, a blurry clip magically appears. Low quality, bad angle, clearly shot in secret. And what does it show? Just enough to make Rachel look out of control. That video leaked within 2 days, and right after that, notes from the director suddenly surface, calling her toxic and impossible. Rachel's calling it out. It was a setup. They pushed her to the edge, waited for her to explode, and caught it all on tape. But here's what takes it to a whole new level. She says the producers knew exactly what they were doing. They knew she wouldn't just play nice, follow orders, and stay quiet. So instead of collaborating, they circled around her like she was a threat. They built what Rachel's calling a trap, and she says there was no way out of it. According to someone close to her legal team, they didn't want a collaborator. They wanted a puppet. And the second Rachel refused to play that part, they moved behind the scenes to replace her, without saying a word. Now it's still in rumor territory, but the whispers are loud. Loud enough that everyone's paying attention. Word is, an understudy was already running her lines weeks before the fallout hit the headlines. Secret rehearsals were allegedly happening late at night, all hush-hush. And here's the kicker. While Rachel was clocking in every morning, showing up and doing her job, someone else was quietly being prepped to steal her spotlight. Imagine that, finding out you were getting replaced before the curtains even opened. That's not just betrayal. That's a knife in the back. And this ain't just some messy theater gossip anymore. It's part of her official legal case. Her countersuit lays everything out in cold, legal detail. The humiliation, the manipulation, the behind-the-scenes sabotage, and most explosive of all, defamation through those dirty leaks. It names names, drops dates, and breaks down exactly how Rachel believes she was set up, cut out, poked until she cracked, and then painted as the villain in a play she says they rigged from the jump. But this ain't just about cash. Rachel's coming for something bigger: accountability. She wants the people behind those leaks exposed, period. She wants the record to show. This wasn't some celeb meltdown. It was a takedown. Strategic, brutal, calculated. And while the internet's split down the middle, one thing's for sure. This ain't just a fight over a role. It's a war for the truth. And Rachel? She's making damn sure the world hears her side. Loud and crystal clear. In the world of showbiz, image is everything. But when that polished image cracks, it doesn't just fall apart, it blows up. And Rachel Zegler's countersuit? It didn't just defend her name, it exposed what's now being called one of the wildest backstage breakdowns the theater world's seen in years. And now it's not just her legal squad making noise. Industry insiders, anonymous whispers, even some brave castmates are reportedly rethinking what really went down in those first few weeks of Evita. Behind the curtain, it's chaos. Rehearsals that used to be full of energy, now they're straight up cold, tense, awkward, and dead silent. Word is, some actors don't even want to talk, scared to breathe wrong and end up splashed across tabloids. Others? They're allegedly drafting their own statements, and some are even suggesting Rachel's version might not be so far off after all. And get this, producers who were once riding high, backing that original lawsuit without blinking, now they're said to be scrambling behind the scenes, worried about what else might surface. The dominoes are starting to fall, and it's not just the cast feeling the heat. Even the money is getting nervous. One major brand, originally lined up to headline the show's premiere, has reportedly backed out. No public statement, but let's be real. That silence? It's loud. A second sponsor is also pulling back, putting their marketing on pause until, quote, the legal situation is resolved. This isn't just a court battle. It's turning into a full-blown industry shakeup. Now, everybody's questioning, asking, digging. And in an industry that lives and dies by appearances, that might just be the most dangerous thing of all. So what do you think? Was Rachel Zegler the victim of a brutal takedown, or is there more to this story than meets the eye? Drop your opinion in the comments. We're watching everything unfold in real time. Don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe for the next explosive update, and I'll catch you in the next one. Padam மற்றும் தீ.